Morning. Sorry about that bit of delay. I'm going to tell you a story about when I was growing up, when I was a little boy, 4.5. And the story really is about listening. And you'll see at the end how I turned it into a story about listening. So I'll tell you the story first, and then I'll tell you about listening at the end. And thank you for listening to me. If possible, do please tell other people and try to encourage them to listen as well. When I was a small boy, about 4.5, I used to run to school. It was about 1 mile and a quarter. It seemed a long, long way, but when I walk it now, it seems a very short distance, but it seemed a long way for a little boy. But the great treat was that on a Wednesday afternoon, at school, if I ran quickly enough, I could run past the church where my mum went to Mothers Union. So I would run quickly as a little boy from school, and I would get there in time for the cakes. And what they used to do is that they used to have a big round cake, and it was a sponge cake, I suppose. But the thing that I loved most was the hundreds and thousands on the top, those little bead things which they put on the top. Well, I always remember that the first cut of that cake was very exciting. You have a little big round cake, and then you pick out the first slice. And if I was lucky, I might get that first slice. But the story and listening is like this. The trouble with listening is that we so often only listen to what someone is saying. And if we do that, we miss so much. Because good listening is about listening not just to what people are saying, but it's like listening to the rest of the cake. The words that they say are like that first slice. But what we've got to do is we've got to listen to the rest of the cake. And if we do so, then we hear the whole person and we can respond in the right way. So listen. Don't only listen to the words, but listen to what the person is not saying, all the rest of the cake. Listen to the words and try to think, see how the person is saying them. Is their voice flat or is their voice very excited? What about their eyes? What about the way they're holding their heads? And what about the way they're holding their whole bodies? What about the way in which they are saying? And of course, what they are actually talking about and the people they're talking about, and perhaps the people they're not talking about, who you would think they ought to be talking about. So the story is very simple. A little piece taken out of the cake. So often it can represent what we hear. What we've got to try to hear is the rest of the cake, the whole person, everything about them. And if we do that, then when we respond, maybe we can respond in the most appropriate way. Very often, remember, the response to somebody talking is just to sit there, just to listen, perhaps just to hold their hand. I'm sure that you are a very good listener anyway, and you didn't need me to say all that. Tell other people, please, and God bless you. Continue to be the wonderful person you are, and help others to know what you know, that you are precious, very important, and much loved.